You gotta ask the questions, man. Questions are so important. I love questions. And when I say like you gotta question things, I don't mean like the fucking anti-vax guys. They're like, I'm just asking questions. That guy, like, are you? I'm not sensing a lot of curiosity. Like I feel like anti-vaxxers ask questions the way I used to ask women if I should wear a condom. It's technically a question, but we both know I have an answer in mind. But like real questions are so important. Like if you learn a new thing and you can't think of a good question about it, you haven't understood it yet. And so like as you ask questions, try to make them fun, original ones as well. Because like people just keep asking the same goddamn questions over and over again. Like, well, here's one that I hate. You see it on the news sometimes. Is blackface racist? Yeah. Next. Here's one I fucking hate. Is the internet changing how we treat each other? Like, of course it is. There's no eye contact. You're gonna be more aggressive. Like, guys, repeat after me, because these words might save your life. No one makes love through a glory hole. It's not a gentle place. If it was, they'd have 2 more holes higher up for spooning afterwards. Know what you're getting into, you know? But yeah, so those questions suck. Like, ask better questions. Like, here's a question I'd love to have an answer to. I haven't been able to think of one. But guys, how far do you think we need to progress technologically before we'll leave horses alone? Just wondering. We're still riding horses? We have cops on horses. Ride a Segway like a man. You know how shitty we are to horses? I went to a stud farm once. If you don't know what a stud farm is, it's a horse brothel. It's a place where they bring in these like incredible racehorses, and then other rich people pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to have this horse bust a nut in their horse. That's the idea. That's the whole thing. And it is, business is booming, baby. Hey, man, you know what's weird? Who goes to a brothel hoping to get pregnant? It's a weird business model. That's all I'm saying. But like, I remember I went on a tour during the Jack Daniels tour because like I got flown out by Jack Daniels and they were like, oh, we're going to give you the whole Southern experience. They took me to a fucking stud farm. And they could tell that we didn't give a shit. I was like 22 at the time. I didn't care about horses. I was hungover. I just wanted to finger people, you know? I was out there. Guys, fingering's underrated. It's fucking dope. So fun. So we're on the tour, and the guy's like, he can tell that we're losing interest, and so he just shoots out. He's just like, hey, you guys know horses have sexual fetishes? And we went, what? Back in the room. Excuse me? So he told us about 3. I'm going to tell you about the 3 that I remember. The first one is the horse liked it when the mare was covered in mud. He liked like a dirty girl. The second horse likes to watch. Which is interesting, because it's not that weird of a fetish until you remember that he's a horse. So the way that they set it up is they have the breeding room, right? And they would put him out in the hall, and there'd be a little window, and then they'd bring in a lesser stud, like a Liam Hemsworth. They take that fucking guy in, right? And he'd start having sex with the mare, and the other stud is out in the hall just fucking watching it go. What I love about it is he can't look with both eyes because the way his stupid head's shaped. So he's just Popeyeing it, just ha 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 ha, just counting thrusts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I wish I'd asked. I was too hungover to think of this, but I wish I'd asked. What does he do with the other eye? Does he keep it closed like a gentleman? Or is it open, just staring at his trainer like pretty good, right? Like that guy that shows you porn on his phone? Not bad. I like that some of you just remembered that you know that guy. He's the worst. Cut him out of your life. Now the third horse, I wanna make this clear. I hate this fucking horse. This horse is a bad guy. He sucks. If he was a man, I'd punch him. So here's what they would do: is they would take a rag, which is a terrible start. Name anything that starts with a rag that's a good time. What even is a rag? A rag is just a towel with nothing left to lose. So what they do is they take this rag, and I want you to know, this next part, I wrote out a dozen different ways of wording this, and this is the nicest way to put it. They take the rag and they rub it on a pony's vagina to soak up the juices. Yeah, that's the nicest way you can put that. Just as literal as possible. If I had any poetry to that, it makes it so much worse. I could say they use the rag to mop up the juices, but then you're like, why is this pony's vagina so juicy? I could have said they use the rag to tease out the honey. Yeah, exactly, you're welcome. So they take the rag, they rub it on a pony's tiny vagina to soak up the juices. And then even tiny, Jesus. And then they hold it against the horse's nose while he fucks. What? They wouldn't have put that in Game of Thrones. Oh my God. That is not the picture of horses I was painted as a child. When I picture horses, I see them running through valleys with wind in their hair, not sniffing pony panties like a Japanese businessman. Oh. So yeah, how many meditation apps till we can cut that shit out?